following program has been pre-recorded. I, however, am live now. And hello again, Earthbound Super Series. Welcome in for the penultimate set, or race rather, between KelieSemoun on the left, Charles on the right. Person in the middle, I'm Leslie Pro. For this flag set, it is M3. So our enemy appearances will be different in battle. But no Paula, and every enemy sprite is a diamond except for a couple. We'll see those as we go. And it's starting with nobody wanting to take a swim in that gross, murky water. Quite frankly, I don't blame them for not wanting to do that. However, we have no choice. We gotta make that awful crossing, the slowest moving water, period. And that's worse than stepping on a snake. That's stepping on an eel. Hey, when you change your enemy appearance, you can get stuff like that. That is perfectly okay. I do believe that due to a struggle with the audio, the playlist is intended to be going. At least that's my understanding of it. Find a shop, and what is Charles gonna do? Ultimate Bat would have been nice if we had money for it, but we just don't have money for it. I mean, if anything, saving on the other side of the sewers is a smart idea because I don't think Kaylee wants to take that swim again. There's Pencil Eraser. Skip as a runner's high five. Insignificant item. I would, much as I'd like that item and turning it in, no guarantee we find that in an ancient cave. Just like there's no guarantee that we would, well, we found Tucson, which is not great because that's 19 total doors to check. Now, in a no Paula situation, excuse me, if you find the jail cell, you might think, oh great, a Franklin badge. But maybe there's a chance we get Paula. Not necessarily, because there's no guarantee that the car painter fight room spawned into the seed either. So yeah, to call it an outlier would be a bit of an understatement. So we are shifting things around here, so bear with us. Yeah, we get a back attack for Charles, gets the instant win. And we have found the backstage pass, so that is a skip item, if we find that skip. And, oh look, we have ourselves an egg purchase, so, honestly, that means is, you will give me an egg. I see the pizza. Charles doesn't get the pizza number, though. Now, the one thing you're looking for in Tucson is just a way forward, honestly. And that could take several minutes easily. That's King Banana. And another pizza shop where Keely does get the number. Or was it the same one? Hard to tell. I've been playing a lot of Super Metroid Map Rando lately, so that'll make your mind screwy real fast. We find a Casey Pat, and I didn't see what that was. Frying pan, you just sell the Paula goods here in all likelihood. So the hospital is a hospital from another area. Kind of hilarious game. I see what's happening here. Keely's setting up for a pizza man play, but this isn't for a large pizza. No, this is for a pizza skip. This is very smart. And another pizza play, and Charles is getting the pizza number now as well. So I see what Kelly's going for here. Kelly, I'm butchering the pronunciation. Using the exit mouse, though, Oh, I see. Found one of the exit mouse rooms. Okay, that's very smart. I'm just not sure. Well, it definitely saved time. Not sure I would have done that, but hey, if it works, it works. And it is pizza time and skip time. Off to Summers, there is a hitman here that'll tell us exactly where we are. That jump went up to 6, and Trillion Age Sprout is the boss on this floor. We have Nessa's Nightmare 5, Kraken on 7, and on 8, should we get there, Master Barf. Now, by beating Master Barf, Pooh would learn Starstorm. So that's actually a good boss to go for. I just noticed one of the sprites that Kelly's playing with is the Risei sprite from Persona 4, which, speaking of, her voice actress was revealed for Persona 4 Revival. And it's not a name I'm familiar with, but it sounds like she's really nailed it from what they showed in the previews. So I think it's gonna be a good time. I just don't know if I'm gonna have time for a game of that length. Nice find on a night pendant, by the way. And Charles is opting for selling a chicken. And fixing broken cannon would actually give Jeff a pretty decent weapon. Kelly's gonna have to heal quick to get rid of that poison from that Ursi coil snake. Or at least his behavior was. Good use of psychic points there. Tries to get the back attack there, but no dice. But it's freeze vulnerable, so it worked out. Okay, coin of silence. Now you're starting to see defensive equipment trickle in. Wow, all those diamonds, and you can feel the lag. And we got the desert on 6. Could have the potential for some good items here in the desert. Looks like we're gonna get some exploration. Lucky sandwich. Now the problem with getting a whole bunch of extra items is Earthbound has a limited inventory space, and as a result, you only have 14 items per character. You take a character out of the party, and suddenly you only have space for up to 42 total items. Now, the ATM card and Soundstone always remain with Ness, so as a result, it's only 40, realistically. Ooh, that's a good find. A rabbit's foot. Speed up by 40. Will definitely allow for bottle rockets to do damage against most targets, and it'll help make running away easier. Right now, it looks like in terms of Toos and Chargles is a little lost in the sauce, which, I mean, with all those doors, very understandable. It's very easy to get lost in this area. think at this point, Kelly's more wanting to get across the desert than check every box, which is fair, running out of resources between the fights and the desert. And gonna get the $50 from the Tucson Hotel lobby. Speaking of that particular spot on Retro Achievements, they call that achievement, if I give this to you, will you go away? Yeah, they had some fun with that, admittedly. End of floor 6, but Kelly's not feeling ready for it, knowing what fight this is. Now that's a scary combination. Imagine that, Everdred and Pokey. Oh gosh. So Prey wound up on Jeff, and for some reason, Kelly's not able to run away from this. Okay, the only thing I can think of is maybe because of that battle cry, that was a cave boy. Doesn't make sense, but thankfully saving at a full heal when you're able to do that made that a lot less punishing of a death than it could have been. And here comes Chargles on to 6. Oh, but this could be a bad combination. I mean, it's a 4-enemy combination as your first fight off of a skip. Yeah, Prey, I think, is going to be the way to go here. Yeah, I think running's the only way, and that's going to be a wipe. Chargles just got absolutely wrecked. When you're coming off of a skip, you absolutely do not want a multi-enemy encounter like that. You want a single enemy encounter so your party can acclimate. That's what I'm trying to say. Here comes Chargles back into 6, and the tiles are just as obnoxious in terms of enemy spawns. And that's the farm zombie spawn. Albeit the zombies are disguised as robots, and that's another rabbit's foot. You might as well have Ness equip that to improve his speed at this point. I'm sure both of our runners, now that the boss knowledge is there, are happy to know that they do not have to deal with a Ness's nightmare fight on this seed. There's no pun intended, that fight is a nightmare, especially when you're not able to do any sort of defensive countermeasures such as psychic shields. There's a burger skip. This is on the other end of the King Banana skip, so this could... who knows what this will do. Coin of Slumber, okay. I mean, at this point, it's better than not having any equipment. Although that instant win might hint towards it being backwards, I can't say for sure. But Kelly's gonna take a different route and find another pizza shop, as you do. So right now, Chargle's in a bit of a struggle to get it going after taking back-to-back deaths. He has not been able to go too far onto floor 6. So as a result, has not found the Dalam throne room. That would be a full heal. Big bottle rocket away, and Kelly takes down a sentry robot. And finds a back of floor 5 and is like, yeah, no thank you. Meanwhile, Charles finds on 6 the Eraser skip. Oh, and the hype room. Jar of fly honey, that's a skip item. Violet serum, okay. Eraser squared, that's a skip item that he just crossed. Trick Yo-Yo's a weapon. Crystal Charm, that's a speed boost. Not as good as the Rabbit's Foot, but it's something. Yeah, hype room kind of delivered, but let's see where it delivers Chargles in terms of these skips. First it delivers him into a fight that he's not going to want anything to do with, but he's not going to be able to get away. But the enemy missed! Another chance? No! That was a 34 and a 37 in a row, and that's another wipe. Yeah, right now this seed is just being extra rough on Chargles. This is what happens in Ancient Cave. Sometimes you just get into a death loop and you have a hard time getting out of it. And hello there, Brooke. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Nice, glad to hear it. So we are about 23-ish minutes in. Chargles has hit a bit of a death loop while Kelly is on 6, about ready to investigate a skip that, well, the item for it was picked up in the hype room. It's the Eraser.
Yeah, I've been watching a little bit. Is Chargles still on floor 1? That was some good stuff in the hype room.
He has taken a number of wipes and has had a hard time establishing on floor 6, which is where he is now.
Ah, okay.
I see Kelly going backwards through the Stonehenge lobby, so that seems to suggest that it's a backwards skip.
Yeah, I saw that really bad fight that Chargles took. I have no idea what the enemies are, obviously, but it looked nasty.
I think it was if I'm remembering my vanilla combinations right, it was the combination of the Armored Frog, Plain Croc, and 2 red Antoids.
Yeah, that sounds right. I'm trying to think what else would be 2 of one enemy and then 2 different enemies.
So the one thing that comes to mind is Chargles appears to be getting established against some Lilliput Steps enemies. I mean, if for nothing else, then to at least give Ness experience, as now we have Master Belch.
Yeah, it would be nice to get that experience on the other kids, but it's not nothing.
And at this point, Chargles, I'm sure, will take whatever he can get. He'll be fine once he finds the Dalam throne room. But up until then, it's gonna be sketchy. Although this will get him permanently established with a full heal for Ness at least.
Yeah, just need to find some kind of revive nearby and he's all good.
Now, he's not going to find it in this direction, because this direction led backwards to the back end of floor 5, and it was revealed by way of hints that that boss is Ness's nightmare. I don't think Charles is going to mess with that.
Yeah. I think these are all places that Keely's already been. I think I saw.
I don't know about that. I don't recall seeing Central Onet, nor do I recall seeing a luxury
what?
jerky or an exterminator spray.
No, where Chargle's going right now, I mean. This is a new floor for Keeling, so.
Is Charles really gonna try this solo?
I mean, does he have the fly honey?
Yeah, but now he's gonna deal with nausea for this entire fight.
I think he might actually... I don't know, maybe he's okay. Ness is hitting very hard, so... The problem is sickness reduces your accuracy, so he's not going to be hitting very often. And that 20 damage a turn is going to add up.
Yeah.
Belch normally has like 600 health, I think, so he's going to need to hit about 9 or 10 times. And I think he's at around 2 or 3 at this point.
I was thinking closer to 4, but that works too. Oh, wait a minute, we got a caterpillar caught assing fire! That could be a fire... This could be a floor 8 enemy, potentially.
HP Sucker. What uses
Fobby.
that? I think Fobbies, yeah. Well, that's actually not a bad place to set the
Charles
respawn.
gets the win done.
Nice.
Absolutely incredible. That was well done.
His Ness is so overleveled now compared to the other kids.
I don't know why he pressed forward when I would have gone right back to a save, but that's just me. So, we got a pink cloud enemy dressed as a Starman.
Yeah, Chuggle's finding that hospital, but still not able to actually revive any of his kids because hasn't got any money, it looks like.
Yep, that sounds like the American healthcare system. Yeah, right now Charles is on hard runaway strats until he can get himself... Oh, wait, Charles, you definitely want to go that way for a full heal.
That's just a hotel heal, so it wouldn't help that much, but it would help.
It would be
Ness
something.
alive longer. Yeah.
Walks
think
through
he's
the
just
exit
hoping
mouse
for-
room without setting the exit mouse. I don't know about... Excuse me, I don't know about that one. Well, they're on floor 8.
Oh, that's helpful. So beating Belch actually sets your respawn point right there, so he's not too far away if he dies.
Right, so that's why a death warp back to 3 would not work in vanilla, because you'd go right back to Belch. That explains that.
Oh yeah, in glitchless you don't save until department store, so if you die in Mole Cave, that's where you end up.
Oof. That's definitely a reset.
Yeah.
Well, we found Starman Deluxe's room. That's not going to do anything for us. A mole cave, a good place to go spelunking for some items.
I think he's just gonna keep checking doors though, hopefully find a full heal or something. Oh, there's Mole Cave again.
It's pizza time! And now we've got... Ooh, this could be Fobbies. Yep, these are Fobbies.
Yeah. Keeley's got no psychic points at all, so he really can't afford to be taking these fights.
Maybe that fight would be doable if... Well, if Pooh had Starstorm in this setting, that'd be more doable. Oh, hey, a Moonbeam gun for Jeff on Chargle's end, but Jeff's not alive.
Yeah, that's a really good item though. That's like good damage right up till Gygas. And there's the floor 8 full heal.
Yeah, that's something Charles is going to want to find. He missed out on the Dalam throne room. And that's really doing more... Well, let's just say it's doing him more harm than good right now.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think he's on completely the wrong end of the floor to find that full heal right now.
Magic Truffle will help sustain him in terms of psychic points, but what is he doing? This screams bad idea, and it wasn't even worth it. It was a counter PSI unit, which hardly ever works. But you got out of it, so...
Yeah, he made it work. It's some good stuttering.
Chargles was actually closer to the full heal.
Oh, there's an ATM.
And he just put in his last dollar to the phone. Not using the ATM! I am surprised by that.
Yeah, ATM, go back to the hospital. Nope. I think he might be too locked in on needing like the proper full heal room.
He might be absolutely tilted at this point.
Yeah, that's another way of looking at it, yeah.
Because the tilt is real.
He's been struggling like this for a while, just looking for the heal. Ness only.
But he got caught from behind. And he cannot run away.
Both runners like made their way to the exact same room at this point.
And at 35 minutes, 49 seconds, Chargles has found a full heal. And finally has his party back up to full.
Yeah, so from here he can hopefully take some fights, get some experience on the other two kids.
Yeah, which he definitely needs, no doubt about it. Oh, and we've got starmen that have disguised themselves as massive piles of vomit. I hope nobody was eating dinner as I said that. All I'm gonna say is don't hate the player, hate the game. Well, at least we've got the skip sandwich out of the inventory. And the picnic lunch, but I doubt these go to 9. And one of them just went to another door in Central Onet. That's classic.
This is a huge floor 8. I think both runners have seen the way backwards to floor 7, but
yeah,
no idea where.
Not the way forward to 9. They haven't found the Master Barf shining spot.
I think this room that Keely's in now, I don't think either runner's checked in here yet.
Dale, there's the pendant and pudding shop that's in Magic Ant, so I mean, that could be a good investment. I don't think we've seen even as much as an Earth pendant yet.
Keely just equipped an Earth pendant, but I don't remember where he got it. And that wasn't the way forward, so somewhere else in the 100 doors that we found on this floor.
But now we found a means of getting rid of skip items. Do any of them do anything? Chances are no.
No. It's a nice fight for Chargles, the 4 fobbies. There'll be a ton of experience.
Yeah, that'll be a nice little experience boon. Also resource heavy. You know what? Our runners haven't seen the mines entrances. I'm willing to bet one of those is it.
Yeah, I think there's 2 or 3. 2 or 3 doors in here that we haven't seen yet?
There's the rope ladder and the main entrance for certain. And then one of the upper doors or ladders.
Yeah, I think the upper right one, nobody's checked.
See, Chargos already went there for the magic truffle, which is a great pickup. And a great move to go back using the exit mouse, because now you just get another one.
Yeah, saves you a bit of walking time.
Baddest beam for Kelie, that's Jeff's third best weapon.
Yeah, he didn't find the moonbeam gun, so that's going to be his best option.
I think that's actually a mook.
It looks
on the right.
Like yeah, it's freeze
Based off
resistant.
of how it's freeze resist, I would have to argue that, yep, that's a mook. Oh, and it wouldn't stay asleep. What a surprise.
Yeah.
Who picks up freeze gamma on Kelly's side, but probably not going to see much use of it.
You need to be pretty like full on psychic points to really want to use that. Beta's just so much more efficient.
It really is. And besides, you'd have to be an enemy that's already weak to freeze for it to even be remotely worth it. Oh, now wouldn't that be a twist if showtime was required?
It gives you time to stretch your legs at least. Sea pendant. So Keelie's looking pretty good in terms of Gygus prep at this point. He's got a sea pendant and an earth pendant.
Yeah, two very excellent pickups. Does have an enemy obstructing the main exit. I believe, based off of the way this caterpillar is behaving, is that that's an uncontrollable sphere. Bust out the hypnosis.
Yeah, also freeze resistant and exploding to bits.
Yeah. Let's just say, when you've played this game for as long as I have, you tend to pick up enemy patterns. And you pick them up pretty well.
Now Keelie's the one with only one kid. Except now it's Jeff instead.
But here's the twist. Jeff is prey.
Yeah.
So Kelie might have a way out of this.
It's also just, you know, if you take any fights, Jeff's gonna get a lot of experience here, which is nice on the prey kid.
Right, right. Uh-oh, trouble spot for Chargos, also down to one kid.
And back to Onet.
Womp, womp, womp. That's the wrong part of a hospital to be reviving a kid.
Yeah. Both of the runners have actually seen a full heal on this floor at least, so hopefully they remember where it is. I definitely
He's gonna have to find it now because of a wipe, so it's back to the department store. Oh, but caught by the enemies before getting up the ladder.
Yeah, that might be another wipe. No, that...
Nope, gets away.
Rabbit's foot doing work there. Okay, the full heal's not too hard to find.
There's definitely doors to check still. Exit mouse back to the mines. That's, at this point, that's a very valid strat.
Yeah. The mines is completely checked at this point, but it's just closer to where he wants to check.
Right, Chargles is checking behind Showtime, and it leads to Gauntlet. This is completely new. Usually my mindset is, because of how many of these seeds I've done, if Gauntlet shows up late, 95% of the time it's going to be required. There is that exception to the rule.
With how many doors we've already checked, I feel like it has to be the way forward.
That's a fobby fight that Chargos wants no part of with only one kid. I don't blame him. So, in this seed, Pooh has Spy, which means Mirror would have wound up on Paula under this setting. Unless the way No Paula works is that if Prey had rolled on Paula, it would have re-rolled until it landed on either Jeff or Pooh.
Yeah. I think Paula should have Mirror, because you can find Pooh and no Pooh seeds. It's a second C pendant, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, that ain't terrible. Chargles does find the lower bowl. Oh, wait a minute. He may have found the lower bowl portion of Milky Well, but he found the Floor 8 Shining Spot boss. He's marking. So he's definitely making it a return point for when he has all the kids. Hey, good evening, Static, and everybody joining in. Thank you all for tuning in. We definitely appreciate it. I know I speak for everybody when I say that.
Yeah. Oh, and now Keely's making his way to where we know the boss is, so he's probably just gonna go for it. He's got all his kids up.
Uh-oh, we got multiplying Franks. I think Charles is gonna want to get out of this fight the moment he can, because those Franks are actually even slimier little piles. Yep, definite death warp.
Yeah, he did set his mouse in front of the boss though, so I think just look for the full heal and then mouse back.
And unfortunately for Kelly, that's a diamondized poo right there.
Ah, that's just the worst timing for it. He's
Speaking
headed
of
into the boss.
the NPC standing in the way of the counter person in the department store.
Yeah.
That is a classic troll that harkens back to the days of Dragon Warrior 1, where NPCs could get in the way. Also, we're still on floor 8, so we're good. Sometimes at a seed, you get a very big floor, and this is just that.
Yeah, any floor with O-Net on it's going to be pretty big, but then there's a bunch of other stuff connected to it as well.
Yep, we've got the boss room.
Yeah.
Kelly also marking the boss.
Yeah, unless he has some way of curing this diamond eyes, I think he might have to take her warp back and full heal. Oh, he's just gonna go for it.
And Master Barf has disguised himself as a Wetnosaur. A Wetnosaur with some really bad belches.
I don't know what happens here because Pooh's diamond dies, but he's gonna jump in and use Starstorm at the end of the fight.
This will be interesting if we get to that point.
I'm wondering if it cures diamond eyes, but I don't know, it might not.
Everybody got put to sleep by that prayer. Very well done.
Yeah,
Nah, this is gonna be a wipe.
Yeah. It put everyone to sleep, but both of Kelly's kids were sick, so they were just sitting there taking 20 damage over and over.
And if anybody wonders why I'm glad Pokemon doesn't allow for stacking status conditions like this, yeah, that's the reason right there. Because seriously, how busted would it be if one Pokemon was asleep while taking poison damage from Toxic?
Yeah, I mean, you can do that with Leech Seed if you really want to. Oh, high five.
Yep, a meeting point. I have a feeling we're about to have a few more of those very soon.
Yeah, I think I would go and save before using the mouse in this situation, but I don't know, the runners might be more willing to YOLO it.
With how it's gone for Chargles, he has to feel behind, so he's just going for it.
Yeah, it's one of those seeds where both runners probably feel like they're a bit behind, not knowing they're exactly head to head. Yeah, it looks like Chargos is going to be fine. Master Buff, not too threatening.
Yeah, because it's only blasting Stinky Breath, which is still pretty bad in its own way. And there's Starstorm. Chargles is through to 9.
Yeah, Kelly's going to be a little bit behind him. But should get through this fight, no problem.
And now Kaylee's through Master Barf and should be joining Chargles on floor 9 very shortly.
Yeah, I'm not sure how well prepared Chargles is for Gygus right now, because I know Kelly's got, you know, a bunch of good pendants. He's basically completely ready already.
On pendants, there's no doubt about it. Chargles, on the other hand, just picked up an Auto Star Master on floor 9, which has buffed Starstorm to Starstorm Omega.
Yeah. Nice thing is, Pooh has ended up with quite a lot of psychic points.
And now the Broken Cannon gets fixed on Chargles, and that's kind of unfortunate because Moonbeam Gun outclasses that, and Kelly's got the same Auto Star Master, so in that regard, our runners are level.
Yeah.
I see what we're doing here. Fighting ourselves some Shattered Men.
Yeah, they give pretty good experience for how easy they are. And PSI Caramel drop
Caramel,
as well.
which isn't terrible. In the vanilla game, you can get some Mummy Wrap from them, and that can be used for shenanigans. Oh, Star Pendant. I think Chargles is gonna be okay.
Yeah, there's no way you miss that one, so that's nice. Just a completely free Star Pendant.
Yeah, in terms of Star Pendants, that one's about as free as it gets.
The thing is, with Jeff as the prey kid, you really need more than one pendant because he can't heal himself. Unless you find like a Franklin badge, but
yeah, but otherwise you gotta pump his inventory full of food items.
Yeah, and then he's always taking turns off to eat food instead of prey. It's not ideal.
Not ideal, but you also want to be prepared for a potential single kid situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, Chargles has pendants, he just hasn't equipped them yet.
Okay, so we're both pretty well prepped for Gygus at this point.
Here's a good base of operations. DX water, that would be certainly worth consideration, I would say.
And here's Gygus.
And Kelly sending it.
Yeah, I think that's fair. He's pretty well set up and he's fully healed.
I would not be entertaining this fight at all.
Yeah, I think it might be a Master Criminal 1.
Based off of the Sapphire Beta, I would agree if that's the case, and just Starstorm it and move on.
No, it's not. I think it's a Psychic Psycho. I thought it was running away from him. Oh, but that's because he beat the floor 8 boss. So yeah, this...
Well, just did something else that I'm not used to seeing, so... interesting. Not sure what that was. Some sort of lunge forward attack?
It's a Chombasaur maybe, but I don't remember what they do.
Yeah.
Yes.
10-4. And we are at the hour mark. Happy hour, and it's Gygus hour.
Yeah. It actually ended up being a pretty decent pace, I think, getting to Gygas an hour in.
Yeah, without Paula, the opening strat becomes... Well, survive the opening beta. Brain Shock Devil's Machine.
He's brain shocking Pokey as well, because he didn't get the paralyze. But Jeff goes down, and I don't know if he has any revives.
I don't think it's about to matter.
Yeah, he's just taking the wipe at this point.
Just gonna test it.
Yeah,
This
may
might
as
be
well.
a 10%.
Waiting for Ness's HP to roll down, so let's just give that a try. 10% para would be really rough in a no polar seed.
At that point, I would honestly consider putting up using Shield Sigma for defensive purposes.
Yeah, I mean,
Attack the bazooka!
oh, well that's damage sorted at least. Now you just need to stay alive.
Constant DPS at the minimum. Now it becomes an issue of survivability.
Yeah, and the Horn of Life is huge as well. I don't think there's any other revive items.
Not that I've seen.
Yeah, that's huge because I think Jeff ended up kind of frail in this, so now I think it's on Pooh, I think. So now Pooh just needs to stay alive. Pooh or Jeff.
But yeah, the critical thing here is to give yourself at least a chance. And the best way you do that is you brain shock the Devil's Machine here. Charles gets fortunate to get only an alpha.
Pretty low as well. And yeah, still no para success, so it looks like it might be a 10%.
Twin alphas. And Charles is about to take a big shot. Wow, that is rude timing on that. I think we might have a spy command here on Chargle's end.
Yeah, he's taking the wipe as well.
569. Yeah, it is a 10%. That's... Yeah, I gotta admit, that scores... Oh, we got a Starstorm Omega being thrown at the Devil's Machine.
That's a cool strat. Yeah, queuing
That's
up
when you
the
know
life
things
up.
are bad. Is when you're seeing your strongest move being thrown at the final enemy.
And he's
That's
through
phase
phase 1.
Now Chargos finds Horn of Life and Heavy Bazooka.
Yeah, Keely's in a pretty good spot here.
Especially since Thunder missed.
Yeah, that might have actually killed him if you got unlucky.
If he had been unlucky, there's a high probability of death there. This is why you save up for things such as Starstorm Omega for this moment.
And I think Pooh's just going to spend the rest of the fight on support. No, one more Starstorm.
Yep, one more blast. That's phase 2. See, that's how Starstorm can easily speed up a fight.
Yeah, that was a quick phase 2.
But I gotta give credit for firing off Omega at the Devil's Machine. You know one of your kids is about to take a mortal blow when you do that, but at the same time, you're doing that knowing full well that Pokey's also gonna take a big blow as well. You're just trying to get through the phase as quick as you can at that point.
Yeah. I think he had the life up queued up on Pooh, so he was just, you know, assuming that Ness would probably die.
Still trying that paralysis at 10%. I legit question if it's worth it at that point.
Yeah, I think I'd just go for the brain shock and, you know, start dealing damage instead. He is dealing really good damage though, between Freeze Gamma and the Heavy Bazooka. He's still going for paralysis, but I think Pokey's nearly dead at this point.
Yeah, Pooh's dead, but so are 2 members of Chargle's party heading into phase 2. Similarly dicey situation, but with a lot less HP. I would prioritize a life up here.
Yeah. I think life up, then revive, then brain shock.
And now
there's the thunder.
Using life up. Because
That's
he just...
why you life up.
Wait, Chargles? Oh,
No,
got a free turn, got away with it.
I mean, maybe he thinks that it's just going to be easier to keep Pooh alive. Because he does only have 1 revive if he revives Jeff and then Jeff goes down.
2 only 4 turns, which is incredibly impressive to do with just 1 party member. But yeah, now you use Horn of Life. And it's the final prayer. Oh, this is unfortunate. But the Star Pendant wasn't equipped. Could that be a mistake here because of... Okay, it was Thunder, it wasn't Flash. Thank God.
That's GG for Keely.
And get your GGs in chat for KelieSemoun, who finishes in first place in this race with an official time of 1 hour, 9 minutes, 2 seconds.
Chargle's well stocked up on the PP heals. He's got quite a few DX waters, so he shouldn't have any problem here unless he gets unlucky with Thunders. Should be finishing in another couple minutes if he keeps going.
He's thinking about his options right now. Still thinking about his options.
Yeah, I think he might just be calling it.
Potentially. But at least we're getting a credits roll from one of our runners, so that's always good news. So it is on to... I just bit my tongue. That did not help. Is that now Kelly is on to the finals, who will be facing off against the one, the only Satake. That is going to be an absolute barn burner. Satake, a former champion. Kelly played really well throughout this entire tournament to get to this point. Can he bring it home, or will Satake win again?
Definitely going to be a race to look forward to.
Absolutely. Now, we don't know when that'll be, but we will be sure to have it when it happens. So do us a favor, give both of our runners a follow. They put on a heck of a show between Chargles and Kelly. Both runners are fantastic. Also, feel free to give myself and Brooke a follow as well. We do a lot of cool stuff that's Earthbound related, as well as some other cool things. So with that, any final closing thoughts, Brooke?
Yeah, it was a really good race, like a real struggle bus of a race, but both of the races dealt with it well, I think.
Absolutely. No Paula can be very rough, but they handled it incredibly well. Especially with M3 and Diamond
to the finals. I cannot believe it.
GG's
it was
indeed,
close
I
as well.
agree. But with that, I do believe it. That would be the time to put a wrap on this seed. So with that being said, my co-commentator Brooke, and everyone behind the scenes at Earthbound Super Series, I'm Leslie Pro. We will be back for the finals. We don't know when that'll be, but until then, kindness and love. Always practice those things. And preach them, too. With that, good night, everybody. Take care.
Bye-bye.